Hello students, this is your EVS teacher here, and this time I'm here with a new chapter of grade 5th EVS NCERT, that is mangoes round the year. And students, this chapter will be in two parts, and this one is the first part of your chapter number 4. Students, this chapter is very interesting chapters in the syllabus, and it will narrates you that how to know when food items are spoiled along a series of questions which will help you observe things around the kitchen. So let's start. Students, here your chapter number 4 starts with 3 children, Neetu, Aman and Preeti. And students, during their lunchtime in school, they were discussing about their lunch. So when these children opened their lunch box, they discussed about their food. And firstly, Neetu said, "Wow, Aman's lunch box has sweet puris." Then Aman said that today Neetu has brought potato sabji. And at last, Preeti said that I have got bhindi. But students, as soon as these children opened their lunch box, they suddenly disappointed. And students, do you know why these children became suddenly disappointed? Because as soon as Neetu opened her lunch box, there was a foul smell from the food. Then Aman said, "Oh, Neetu, I think your potato sabji is spoiled." Then Preeti said, "Neetu, you don't have to be worried. Don't eat that. You may fall sick. Here, you can share some of my bhindi." Now students, let's discuss that what is food spoilage or how the food is spoiled. Now students, as you can see here the heading, food spoilage. So students, now there is a question that what is food spoilage or how we came to know that the food is spoiled. Students, food spoilage means that there is some undesirable changes that have taken place in a food and which have made it unfit to eat. And students, basically this will happen when food items are kept for a long period of time and not stored properly. And students, when we do so, then the food items that kept for a long time gets spoiled by germs. And once the germs grow in the food, then it cannot be eaten and it has to be thrown away. So we can say that spoilage is a process in which food items deteriorate to the point in which it is not edible to human. Students, here now the question is that how the food gets spoiled or what is the reason behind spoilage of food. Students, actually the food and the water that we basically consume may be infected by germs, and flies play a very prominent role in transferring of germs from one place to another. And students, when these flies sit on our food, they pass on these germs to our food, and there may be various factors that basically responsible for food spoilage like bacteria, mold, yeast, moisture, light and temperature. So students, these are the basic factors that are responsible for the spoilage of our food, and due to all these factors our food become spoiled. Now students, there is a question that how can we tell that food is spoiled? So basically students, the first thing that you must keep in your mind is the appearance of your food. You have to just look at the appearance of your food. Like in the first picture here, as you can see here, the color of the bread is slightly greenish or bluish structure. This shows that the bread became spoiled and now it is not edible. Or secondly, we came to know by the taste and the odor. Odor means smell of the food. If the food that we are going to consume, if the taste and odor of the food that we are going to consume smells really bad or it's unusual, then we should avoid to consume it. And that's how we came to know that the food became spoiled. Now, students, here are some questions to discuss. So the question number 1 is, how did Aman know that the potato sabji had got spoiled? The students, as we already discussed in the earlier section, that there are different ways through which we came to know that whether the food is spoiled or not. So in the same way here, Aman came to know that the potato sabji had got spoiled by its bad smell. Question number 2, have you ever seen some food that has got spoiled? How did you know that it was spoiled? Now students, have you ever seen in your home or anywhere else that the food has got spoiled? If yes, then you have to write down here yes. And you also have to write down here that how did you know that? Now students, as I have seen foods that have gone spoiled, so I have written here yes. In the same way, if you also have seen foods that have gotten spoiled, then you can write yes. And with this, you have to write down that the food smells bad and shows unusual colors. That's why I came to know that the food has gone spoiled. Question number 3, Preeti told Neetu not to eat the potato sabji. What would have happened if she had eaten it? Students, as in this story, we read that Preeti told Neetu not to eat the potato sabji. So students, here you have to write down the reason why Preeti told Neetu not to eat that potato sabji and what happened if she had eaten it. Students, as you all know that germs are harmful for our body. So if Neetu would consume that potato sabji, then she may have fallen ill. That's why Preeti told her not to eat that sabji. Students, now here is an activity that you have to do in your home. So listen here carefully what you have to do in this activity. You have to look in your kitchen and write down the names of food items. You can take the help of your mother as well. So first of all, you have to write here the name of 3 food items that can spoil in 2 to 3 days. And students, you have to do this activity in your NCERT textbook. Next one, you have to write down 3 food items from your kitchen that can be kept for a week. And in the same way, you have to write down 3 more food items that would not spoil till 1 month. Now, you have to check your friend list and discuss in the class. So nowadays, discussing in the class is not possible. So you have to just write down your answers in your textbooks, and whenever your school will reopen, then we will discuss it in your classroom. Your question number 3, will your list be the same in all seasons? What would change? Now students, the question is here that the list that you mentioned in the above question will remain same in all season. No, students, it is not possible. The list will change in different seasons because food easily gets spoiled in summer as compared in winter, whereas in rainy season the excess moisture in air hastens the process of spoiling of food. So the list change in different season. Next question, when food gets spoiled in your house, what do you do with it? Now students, here in this question, you have to ask your mother that what she basically do when food gets spoiled in your house. And students, it's very obvious that whenever the food gets spoiled, we usually throw it in the garbage bin. But before write down this answer, you have to just ask your mother also. Now students, move on further toward the chapter. Now students, as you can see here, BG returned the bread. Aman's BG went to the market to buy bread. The shop was very crowded. The shopkeeper picked up a pack of bread and gave it to BG. She looked at it and returned it immediately. Students, Aman's BG went to the market to buy some bread, and as there was very crowded, so the shopkeeper just picked up a packet and handed over to BG. But as soon as BG looked at it, she just returned it immediately. Now students, as you can see here, this one is the bread packet that BG returned. Now you have to answer here that why BG returned it, or how did she find that the bread had got spoiled? So student, BG may have found that the expiry date of the bread had lapsed, and she may have observed some black velvety spots on the bread, as you can see here. That's why she just returned the bread. Now students, as you can see here are some more questions to discuss. So before moving on towards the question, you have to do an activity here. Listen here carefully what you have to do in this activity. Students, you have to collect 2 to 3 packets of any food items, and you have to just an eagle eye on the back side of the packet that what is written over there. So students, when you will see on the back side of the food item, you will observe that there is written something over there. As you can see here, MFG and EXP. Students, MFG means manufacturing date, means it will help you to know that when this particular food item manufactured. As here in this image written here, 4 September 2014 means this particular food item manufactured on 4 September 2014, and just below it EXP means expiry date, and through this you will came to know that this particular food item will be consumable till 4 September 2017, and if you consume this particular food item after 4 September 2017, then it will be dangerous for your health or you may fall sick. Same in this image, as you can see here written August 2016 means that particular food item manufactured on 20 August 2016, and it is written here best before 20 August 2018 means you can use this particular food item till 20 August 2018, and if you consume that particular food item after 20 August 2018, then you may fall sick. So in the same way students, you have to check the manufacturing date and expiring date of 2 to 3 packets of food items. Now let's move on towards the first question. What can we know from what is written on the packet? So students, when you look carefully at the back side of the food packets, then you will get the following information like what is the price of that particular food item, what is the weight of that food item, and as I discussed that what is the manufacturing date or what is the expiry date, and you will also came to know that what are the ingredients used in manufacturing that particular food item. Question number 2, when you buy anything from the market, what do you look for on the packet? So students, now whenever you go to the market, you have to keep some important points on your mind that first of all, you have to check the dates of manufacturing and expiry of that particular food item. Then you have to also check for price and the weight of that food item. And by doing this, you will become a aware consumer. Now students, here is another activity. Now listen here carefully what you have to do in this activity. How does food get spoiled? Students, all of you have to do this experiment or this activity at your home. You have to take a piece of bread or roti and you have to just sprinkle a few drops of water on it and then put it in a box. And then after putting the bread or roti in a box, just close the box and keep it side. Then you have to notice every day the bread or roti until you find some changes over it, like as you can see here, this greenish or bluish patchy like structures. Until they came, you have to notice your bread or roti every day. Now students, you have to make a table on a chart paper and put it up in the classroom. Now students, as you all know that nowadays it is not possible to put it up in the classroom, so put it up in your home in a suitable place, and whenever your school will reopen, I will collect it as your assignment. Now students, as you can see here, you have to make the table on a chart paper in this way, and you have to write down the observation of every day in this table. I'm giving you an example here. You have to prepare your table in this way. As you can see here, by touch, by smell, by looking through hand lens, by color. In the first column, by touch, you have to touch the bread or roti, and if there is any difference, then you have to write on here. You also have to smell it. If there is some kind of smell over there in your bread and roti, you have to write on here. Now you have to check it by hand lens also. Then you have to notice it color also. So in this way, you have to notice it about 1 week and note down your observation as in this table given here. And students, once your table is completed, then you have to answer these questions. The question is, find out the reason for these changes. From where did the fungus come on the bread? So students, when you keep the bread or the roti for a couple of days, then you will find that there are some kind of greenish patchy structure over on the bread, and this greenish structure over on the bread is basically fungus, and this changes occurred just because rotting of bread, and this fungus grow when they get a moist surface and food. The next question, different kind of food items spoil due to different reasons. Some foods spoil soon, some stay good for long. List some seasons and conditions in which food spoils quickly. Students, as we already discussed earlier, that different kind of food items spoil due to different seasons. So here in this question, you have to write down some seasons and the condition in which food spoils quickly. Students, as I said, that the food spoils quickly in summer as well as in rainy seasons. So the conditions in which the food spoils quickly are, if cooked food is kept in open, then the food may spoil quickly. Secondly, if milk is not boiled properly, if green vegetables are kept in hot and humid places, and if pickles are not protected against moistures, then in all these conditions, our food may be spoiled very quickly. Now students, as you can see here in this table, here are some food items, and some simple methods are also given here by which these could be kept fresh for 1 to 2 days. Now you have to match the correct food items with their correct methods to preserve. As you can see here, milk. So students, can you answer me that how can we preserve milk? Yes, you all are right. Just by boil it, we can preserve the milk for 1 to 2 days. The next is cooked rice. Yes, you all are right. We can preserve the cooked rice by put it in a bowl and keep the bowl in a container with some water. The next one is green coriander, means dhania. Now, can you answer me? How can we preserve it? Yes, you all are right. We can preserve it for wrapping it in a damp. Damp means moist cloth. And the last one is onion and garlic. And we can preserve onion and garlic for not only 1 and 2 days, in fact, for around 2 to 3 months by keep it in a dry open place. So students, in the same way, we can preserve other food items as well. Now students, with this topic here, the first part of your chapter number 4 is completed here. Now I will be come back soon with the second part of this chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy.